Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. Happy Monday to you. Start of week. We're getting close to the show. Yep, 8 days. 8 days. So that is not what I want to talk about today. I got some mail that I'm going to show. It's Monday, so I got some pickups, just some other stuff that I'm going to show. You'll like it. Stay tuned. But the main topic I wanted to discuss today is something that's I don't know if it's been bothering me. I don't know but I see so much negativity surrounding what we get to experience over the next 2 days. And that's all-star events. The all-star game tomorrow night, home run derby tonight. Heck, I even like the celebrity softball thing. I try to watch that. So it bothers me when I hear people poo-pooing on the all-star game. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a meaningless exhibition game. True. It used to matter for a little while. They had this time it matters, and they would determine home field advantage in the World Series based on which league won the All-Star game. They got rid of that. But to me, and I'll get into all the negatives that people say about the All-Star game and All-Star selections and why they think it's meaningless and all this. I happen to disagree respectfully, but I'll go through that. But as a kid in the 80s and 90s, there was nothing more important to me than sitting down to watch the All-Star game. It marked my summer. It was like, okay, the All-Star game is this whatever Tuesday it was. And it was so important because my team, the Texas Rangers, usually they were so poor of a team, they would only have one representative. But I wanted to be there to watch at the beginning when the players were introduced, and I got to see Buddy Bell or Jim Sundberg or Al Oliver or somebody from my team tip their cap, Buddy Bell, Texas Rangers. I mean, that was a big deal. And of course I loved the game, but how could you not love something where they bring all the best players from both leagues together to play against each other? How cool is that? I mean, just the idea of it is just awesome. And they've been doing it a long, long time, since the 30s. The All-Star game was meant to kind of bring the game back and provide something important for fans to tune into and watch during the Depression. But it's just been an enduring tradition in baseball for a long, long time. And, the home run derby is awesome. I mean, it's changed formats so many times. I mean, the home run derby started in 1985. The first winner was Dave Parker. And I think he hit, hold on, I have it up here, 6 home runs. He's hit 6. To give you an idea, last year Pete Alonso hit 74. But the All-Star game has just been this fun thing that has been a stalwart in my baseball fandom for my whole life. And for people to say it doesn't matter is kind of silly. Now, to be a realist, I mean, getting selected to the All-Star team, especially now, maybe not back in the day when it was a popularity. So the way it used to work, fans would vote, and the top vote getters would be the starters, and then the managers of each team would select the reserves. Now it works where the fans still vote for the starters, and you have players voting for the reserves, as well as the commissioner's office contributing to that to fill out the rosters. And I think the players voting is a pretty valid, if you get voted in by the players to be on the All-Star team, that's a pretty validating thing. They think you're awesome. And so there's many criticisms of the All-Star process and game. Number one, people criticize the fan voting. It's just a popularity contest. Well, and it's not necessarily the guys that have had the greatest season. Now, you got to remember, it's only one half of a season. So the reality is we don't know who's going to have the greatest seasons. We know who have had so far the greatest first halves as people are voting for that. And the reality is, the All-Star game is meant to be an exhibition, and you want to see the best players. So if Mike Trout is voted in, but he's not having a great year, that doesn't still mean that Mike Trout isn't great and that you don't want to see him play, right? There have always been head scratchers of players that have gotten in to the All-Star game, certainly on the balloting, like, oh, so-and-so should have been voted in. They're having a better season, half of a season. But it's meant to, you want to see the best players play in the game. if they're in a slump or not or whatever, irrelevant to me. I want to see the best guys. Give me the best 9 guys. And by and large, that happens. Like the most popular / best guys get into the game and play. So there's the criticism of that, and especially with once it turned over to computer voting, essentially ballot stuffing that can happen by certain teams, advocating for their players, and you'll see guys get in that probably shouldn't be there. But by and large, I think the fans get it right a lot of the time, most of the time, quite frankly. So to criticize that is kind of unfair. Then you have people that say, well, all-star games, don't really matter in a player's resume over their career. And again, I just think being selected as one of the best players in your league any given year is important. Can you say that's better than being selected an all-star is better than MVP? Of course not. Or a Cy Young? Of course not. But the reality is it matters some, right? And so I think that's part of a player's resume. If you said they were selected as an all-star 14 times, you're not going to just say, well, that doesn't matter. I think that's just silly. It's going to matter. If you say they were selected 2 times, it might be less important in their resume, determining their greatness overall. And so I just think I have friends of mine that say they hate the All-Star game because of the way it is. And I'm like, dude, how can you call yourself a baseball fan and not love the All-Star game? It's just so much fun. But there will be people that either say this is rigged or it's this or that. And I'm like, look, it's a great opportunity to see the greatest players in the world play against each other. And they mic them up, and I just think it's great. It's a casual atmosphere. It's not completely serious. You get to see the players differently than you might see them day to day, and you get to see players you might not see ever play because they're on the West Coast and you're on the East Coast or whatever. I mean, I pretty much only watch Ranger games and the occasional ESPN game of the week, Sunday Night Baseball. So it's not like I'm seeing these guys all the time, but I'll get to see them in the All-Star game, and that's really how it was back when I was a kid. And this, again, all harkens back to my childhood and my development as a baseball fan. How important and critical the All-Star game was to me, how much I loved it. That has just carried forward to now, and I still love it. So it's different. I'm going to record the Home Run Derby tonight and not have to watch all the commercials. I'm not going to pay attention to who's winning or whatever, but back in the day, there was no DVR and all that kind of stuff. So it's changed quite a bit the way I watch it, but I still watch it and still enjoy it and still love it. So to all you naysayers out there on the All-Star game, lighten up, enjoy the next couple of days of baseball and have fun with that. All right, let's get to stuff I picked up and have gotten and all kinds. I'll explain everything in a second. Let's flip this around. We'll take a look. Hang on. Okay, so the first thing I want to show is this is old school, man. I got this set. The 81 Fleer Star Sticker set. These are so miscut. Look at that. Like, so bad. The first year of Fleer, 81, and they did these star stickers. And I got this from Ty when we went up to that huge collection that 6 million cards. This was something in there. I said, hey, can I have that? And he said, sure. So it's got so many Hall of Famers: Eckersley, Yount, Johnny Bench, Rod Carew. I mean, this was when I started collecting, 1981. So I remember having these and this being a huge deal. They came in their own little packs. Tom Seaver, great Ricky. Actually, horrible Ricky. Look at that. It's all chipped up. Not in great shape. I don't care. To have this whole set, Jim Rice, Fisk, is just so cool. Great Don Sutton, Tony Perez, Carter. Look at all these guys. Suter with a bat. That's funny. Molitor, Fergie, Carlton, Trammell, Winfield, Nieker. Look how many guys. Stargell, Yastrzemski, Schmidt. There's a couple Schmidts in here, I think, actually. Gossage, Dawson, Eddie Murray, like Simmons, Palmer, another Schmidt, There's 2 Reggies in here. One's a checklist. George Brett. There's 2 George Bretts. I don't know. Do that. There's the other George Brett. And then Joe Morgan. Nolan Ryan. So that much of this set are Hall of Famers. That's insane. And I'm so excited that I got this. I'll just sit that back here, put it out of the way. I did get 3 TTMs, more Perez, Steel, / custom goodness. Here's Burt Blyleven. Came back. I am now, I don't have any more out. I've gotten them all back. I'm literally 100%. I think I've done 12 of these TTM. He even sent me a note. Thank you, Mike. Stay safe. So I'm going to keep that with it because it's just neat. Dennis Eckersley came back. Look how cool that looks. The flowing locks of Dennis Eckersley. And then a little Wade Boggs action. So, I mean, yeah, love getting these TTM. All right, the last thing I'm going to show is a cool package that I got from my boy G Money Garrett, who runs Slab City Sports Cards. He has been getting some stuff lately, and I'm his sucker. I buy stuff from him because I love it. He does give me great deals, so no argument here. But one thing he threw into the deal was this Jeff Bannister Topps Heritage card signed. He didn't have this actually, so that's super great. That will go in the Rangers autograph binder. Glad to have it. A couple things I got from him also. That's so big, but little Dirk Nowitzki 8x10. This was all part of a collection that he bought, I think. Love that, him holding the championship trophy, the only championship the Mavs have ever won. Dirk, probably top 10 greatest players in NBA history would be my guess. And then this awesome other 8x10. So I don't do 8x10s a lot, but I have a few of them, and this will go in that binder. Two more things, and then I'll be done. Yeah, I got a wrestling card. Hulk Hogan rookie, 1985 Topps, WWF. He got a ton of these graded, and if you haven't seen the video where he got these graded and got them back from PSA, he got murdered on the grades. I mean, absolutely demolished. And this was one of them that came back a 4. I mean, you can actually see why it's a 4. I kind of question Garrett's judgment for sending this in the first place, but it's still a Hulk Hogan rookie at the end of the day. And I don't know. I love Garrett. I love how much he loves WWF. And I thought, I'd like to have that card. I'd like to have one of those. As I saw him do that, I don't care what grade it is. I just think it's cool and wanted to put it in my PC. So I got that. But the thing that made all of this deal happen was this card. This is what, okay, I want that. What else can I throw in to make it kind of worth it? And that's this 2015 Topps Adrian Beltre signed and slabbed up. Beltre is sure to be a Hall of Famer. To have a player era card of his signed is never a bad thing. So I am thrilled to have this. This is actually, I think, a checklist card. Yep. It's not his base card for the set, but it's because it shows he got to 2,500 hits, ultimately got to 3,000 hits. And so I am so glad to have that. So Garrett, thanks, man. And that is it for today. Hey, enjoy the All-Star game. Enjoy the Home Run Derby tonight. I'll talk to you guys later. Keep collecting.